Hey y'all, it's been a while. I hadn't talked to you in a while, but today I am making hot kosher dill pickles, and it's because we've got so many cucumbers from the garden. Let me show you. Look at all these cucumbers I've gotten in here from the garden. So let me just show you what I'm doing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pack the jars with everything that's supposed to go in them for the pickles. So the first thing we do is we put some dill, and I was trying to grow dill, but it got too hot and it dried up. So we actually had to go buy some dill in the grocery store. So I've got some dill weed right here like this. And I've taken a little pinch of it and put in each of the jars. You can see some down in that jar. And then I took some fresh garlic, peeled it, and got it in little chunks like this. And I put one of those down in each jar. And so now the next thing I'm going to put in there, I normally would put these little red cayenne peppers that Bob grows, but right now we've only got one that's ready, so, and it's that one. So I'm not going to use the red cayenne. What we did instead is we went to the grocery store and we found some jalapenos. So I'm going to chop up some jalapenos and put down in each jar. Just a few slices in each one, just to give it a little bit of hotness. So here's the jalapenos right here, and I'm just going to chop them this way into little circles and put them down in the jars. And I'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, I've got those sliced up. I did not take the seeds out of them because I'm really wanting these to be hotter pickles, and the seeds I think make it hotter. I'm hoping so, at least. My son loves really hot things, and he said that my pickles were real tasty, but they weren't exactly hot enough. So, but you know, he's probably got a mouth with insulation in it. He eats hot stuff so much. But anyhow, I'm gonna put a couple of slices in each jar. I'll just let you see what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna put them down in the bottom. And then after we put the cucumbers in there, we're gonna wind up putting some more on the top of each of these things. But for right now, I'm just putting 2 in the bottom of each jar. So now I did sanitize these jars really good, sterilize the jars really good before I started putting anything in them, because you want really good clean jars. You can do it in boiling water or in the dishwasher. Just make sure they're good and clean. And the same thing with the lids and the screw tops. So now what I've done is I've tried to organize my cucumbers by size. So let me show you that so you can kind of see the row here. I started, the bigger ones are down at this end, down here, and then, you know, they get smaller as they go down, like this, shorter, you know, because, so I think I'm gonna start with the taller ones because I think they'll fit nicely in the jar. By the time I cut each end off of it, I'll be able to put one slice down in the jar. So I'm gonna start cutting these up. I'm gonna rinse them off first, and then I'm gonna cut them up, and I'll show you how I put them in the jars. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and you can see I've cut the cucumbers into spears. It's about 6 spears out of each cucumber. So now I'm just going to stack them down in this jar. And you can see they fit really good. They come right below the lip of the jar. And I'm just going to put them in here as nice and neatly as I can so they'll all fit. And this was just 2 cucumbers, so hoping they'll all fit in here. Yep, I might be able to even get another one. So let's see, you can see I've just stacked them in there like that. And I think I've got room to squeeze a couple more in there, so let me cut up another one here. Whack the ends off of it. this jar. Yep, looks like it's gonna go in there pretty good. Might be able to fit this one in. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. Just trying to make sure you can get them all in there and they're packed nice and tight. Okay, now they're all in there and that is really tight with it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another little jalapeno right here on the side. So there's one near the top and another little piece of dill. It's gonna go right here on top of it. And another little piece of garlic. And so now, when I make the brine to go over it, it'll just fill this up to right about, right where the screw top starts, which is about 1/2 inch from the top. That's how high you want to fill it. And then we'll seal it up with, the lids and the screw caps. And then I'll cook them in the cooker for about 5 to 10 minutes till I know that they've all gotten really hot inside. Then we'll take them out and let them just sit until they seal themselves. So that's the way I do it, but I'll show you how to make the brine in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, here are my 7 jars filled with the cucumbers. And then you can see on top, I went ahead and put another little jalapeno in there, a garlic, and some more dill. So on the top of each one of them. So they are ready now for me to cook the brine. I significantly reduced the amount of cucumbers I have left, so now I've just got this little pile. And you'll notice these are different looking little cucumbers. They're little short, fat ones. They're actually pickling cucumbers. And they are just perfect for making pickles. As you can see, these are gonna be some pretty looking jars of pickles. All right, so let me make the brine and I'll get right back with you. I'll tell you how. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm ready to make the brine now that we're gonna pour over the cucumbers in the jars. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, because I only had 7 pints of pickles, these are pint jars. I get the wide mouth jars because they're easier to stuff, but they're pint jars and I have 7 of them. So I'm cutting the original recipe that I have in half because it was for 7 quarts. So anyhow, the first thing I'm going to do is take about 4 1/4 cups of water and pour it in the pan. Then we're going to take 1/4 cup of pickling salt. And you can buy this at the stores or maybe on Amazon. It's just regular pickling and canning salt. And it's just a fine salt. And so I'm just going to put that in there. And now I'm going to put a cup of white vinegar. This is just regular white vinegar. So let me measure that. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring this to a boil. And you can do this first, because it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold when you're going to put it in the jars, because we're going to put the jars over here in the big canner in just a little while and heat it all up together anyhow. So the main thing we're trying to do here is to just make sure that that salt is dissolved in the vinegar and the water. So I'm just going to turn this on, let it come to a boil, and make sure everything's dissolved, and then we'll start stuffing it, pouring it in the jars. Be back. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and you can see that there's steam coming off this. It was boiling. So now I've got this, I bought one of these little canning utensil kits. It's great because it's got this little funnel in here, and then it also has the tongs that we'll use when we are pulling the hot jars out of the canner. So for now, this is going to help me make sure that let me turn it down so you can see what I'm doing. Just to make sure that it goes in the jar instead of out all over everywhere. This helps me aim a little better. So I'm just gonna pour it in there. And you can see that was just barely a half a cup that I put in there, and it's so packed with the pickles that the juice is right there where we need it to be, right about a ½ inch below. See the juices to right here, which is what we need for it to be. I hope you can see that. See? So now what I'll do is just quickly put one of these lids on it, like here, and one of the rings. And then this will go over here into my canner, which then I will fill it up. I'll fill the canner up with water so that it comes right below. Whoops, excuse me. Let me get this where you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put these down in the canner, which is just a big giant pot, and it'll hold maybe 5 or 6 of these. And then I'll fill the water up to right about here in the canner, and then boil them until they are, you know, good and hot, about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll take them out and let them seal. So as I get these ready, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them down in here, and then I'll pour hot water in over them up to that level that I told you. So let me get the rest of them ready, and then I'll show you how I'm doing the over there in the. Okay, so I want to show y'all. I've got it wound up. All 7 jars fit down in there, and now I've got some hot water I'm going to pour down in the pot and try to fill them all the way up to. I got to do that a couple more times, and I'll get them right up to right below where these rings are, and then I'm gonna let them cook for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be back. Hey y'all, I'm back, and I'm wanting to. I don't know if you can see down in here. This has been boiling now for about 10 minutes. So I've got my little tong things here, and see how nice they pick up that hot jar, and then I just sit it right over here on the towel. You probably can't see that, but I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm putting them right over here on this towel, and I'll line them all up. They'll sit there until they pop. When they pop, this will go down flat right on the top. And that's all there is to it. Then you just put your label on the top and say when you made them. Let them sit in your pantry for a while, and whenever you're ready to eat some hot pickles, you'll have them there. Y'all have a great day. Love you.